Hey everybody, welcome to my channel, Permission to Live in the End. And have I got a experience and story for you that just happened to me as I was waking up this morning. I'm still continuing my little mini series on do nothing to have everything, talking to my manifesting community, my law of attraction community, law of assumption community, personal development enthusiasts, Neville Goddard enthusiasts. So this one is still for you. And I'm going to continue by saying do nothing, go into the state. Go into the state of being and do nothing. Do nothing and go into the state of being that in terms of your desired outcome, in terms of seeing your desired outcome fulfilled, go into that particular state of being, abide and occupy that state of being, and do nothing. So I want to keep saying that. And I want to share this quote that I have had no idea. What happens is before I come and I sit with you guys, for the most part, I will turn on my computer and I will look for a quote as related, or I'll just look for a quote as related to a particular topic. But, and I was doing that this morning as well, but I had no idea that I was going to get this particular quote and share that I'm about to share with you, and how it is related exactly to what happened to me this morning. So I'm going to read, and this is from, no, I'm not going to scroll because I might lose my place. I'll tell you after where this is coming from, but this is definitely Neville. So you are the animating power of the universe. All things were made by you, and without you was not anything made that was made, for you are life itself. This I know from experience, and so do I. The universe is alive in you. It has no life on the outside. It is yours to animate, to stop, to let go, and stop again. Blake was right when he said, God only acts and is in existing beings or men, for God is the only actor, acting imaginatively in the human imagination. I got more. While seated here, you can see your home in your mind's eye, but it does not have the cubic reality as does this room. But one day you will think of something and see it more vividly than you now see the speaker. You will enter it not as a shadow, but as a three-dimensional space. I have sat in a chair or rested on a bed with my eyes closed, as in sleep, and seen what I could not see if the lids were open. Knowing exactly where I was and what I was doing, I allowed consciousness to follow vision and stepped into that image, which closed itself around me as I set out to explore the world. I am so excited about what I just read, but the first thing that comes to mind for me is to tell everyone that you are not confused. You're not confused. Go into the state. You don't have any questions. Go into the state. The answer is to go into your state of being, of your desired outcome. So here's what happened to me this morning. I hope I find the words, because words fail my experience. But I was laying there in the wee hours of this morning, and I was thinking about one of my desired outcomes, which is a particular house. A house that I'm imagining. So I haven't seen it out here, but it's a house that I'm imagining, where I've been able to step inside of this house and walk around this house and feel the granite countertops in the kitchen, although right now I'm questioning whether I want granite. But and feeling the countertop is part of why I started to question, is it granite? or am I saying granite because everybody says granite? But there is a particular room in my house that is a library room. And in that library room with built-in shelving and a fireplace, there are 2 Chase lounge chairs. And in the wee hours of this morning, I was taking myself into the house, but not just taking myself into the house, I actually was putting myself on one of the Chase lounge chairs. So I was laying in the bed and became consciously aware that I was attempting to put myself on the Chase lounge chair. So I got on the Chase lounge chair, in my mind's eye. I got on the Chase lounge chair and I turned myself so that my back was against the back part of the Chase lounge chair. So all of this is happening, and I'm very consciously aware that it's happening. And I started to have, prior to this, I'm sorry, let me back up just a little bit. I was processing, I guess, questions and things like that, and all I kept hearing was, go into the state. So from a previous video where I was telling you about my interaction with Neville Goddard, that I had actually had a communication with Neville, and what Neville kept saying, no matter what my question was go into the state, go into the state. I don't care what my question was, his answer was go into the state. So that's what was happening in this whole process. So anyway, I got into the lounge chair. And as I was laying in my bed, and I was consciously aware of myself laying in my bed, and I was in a certain position, I had my pillows all, balled up under me while I was laying in the bed. And this is what's really happening. I'm laying in my bed. I could feel myself going into the first person state of being on the lounge chair that I was imagining. But let me try to explain this, guys. My consciousness, which existed outside of the consciousness that was on the lounge chair, the Chase lounge chair, my consciousness that was on the outside, I'll call it the 3D consciousness because I don't know what else to say right now. But my 3D consciousness that was perceiving the lounge chair, it approached me and went inside of the consciousness that was laying on the lounge chair. And I could feel my consciousness go from outside of myself to the both of us, both consciousnesses, laying on the lounge chair. So I could feel myself laying on the lounge chair. I could feel, so now where I was once in my bed, with the pillows all propped up and comfy cozy, it became the lounge chair. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? I was laying on my lounge chair inside of my new house, inside of the library room. So I started to feel the comfy coziness of the lounge chair, and now I started to understand the material of the lounge chair. It wasn't a hard, lounge chair. It was a comfortable lounge chair, one of those chairs that no sooner than you get in it, you're going to fall asleep. That type of material, so it was cushiony, and it was a grayish silver lounge chair, and I still had the pillows and everything because I could perceive the pillows, but now they were on the lounge chair. I went from perceiving to being there. I was actually there, laying comfy cozy on my lounge chair. And I had to share that with you guys because it is exactly what Neville is talking about here. But I want to back up just a little bit to talk about feeling my consciousness approach my consciousness that was laying on the lounge chair and come in and integrate with each other, taking me from a perception of the lounge chair to an experience of the lounge chair. Oh my goodness. I just had to stop by and share that because, these types of things sometimes, well, no, no, no. I'm not going to say that because no, 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 no. I can still feel my left hand side because I was laying on my left hand side when I was in my bed. I can still feel my left hand side feeling the lounge chair as I experienced it in that moment. So I just wanted to give a first-hand experience example of what Neville is talking about abiding and occupying the state. This is exactly what he's talking about. And I'm going to read the last part of the two-part paragraph again so you can, apply and make it applicable to what Neville is saying and what I just shared. While seated here, and I had no idea I was going to read this today, guys. I had no idea I was even going to find this. While seated here, you can see your home in your mind's eye, but it does not have the cubic reality as does this room. But one day you will think of something and see it more vividly than you now see the speaker. You will enter it, not as a shadow, but as a three-dimensional space. And that's exactly what happened to me. I have sat in a chair, and I had no clue he was going to say that, or rested on a bed with my eyes closed as in sleep, and seen what I could not see if the lids were open. And that's exactly what happened. Knowing exactly where I am and what I was doing, I allowed consciousness to follow vision and stepped into that image, which closed itself around me as I set out to explore that world. And that's exactly what happened this morning. I just wanted to stop by and share that with you guys. Abide and occupy the state of being that you desire. You are not confused? Go into the state. You don't have any questions? Go into the state. Abide in the state. I'll see you guys on the next video.